Hello guys and welcome back to the Nige-Rider garage. In this episode we're going to be talking brakes, but not copper slip or friction, because I've had enough of copper slip and friction to last me a lifetime. Alright guys, so what am I talking about? Well, I have decided, actually can you see, before we go any further, look, I've tidied up and I've got a new table. It's actually my sister's old kitchen table, but it works wonders. But I've tidied up so I can actually get down to the bike. So I have actually decided, because of this, look at this, that is my oil cooler pipe. I am not happy with it. And in order to get that bit sorted out, I'm going to have to leave the engine without any oiling for a period of time, and it's already sat here for long enough. So I've decided, because I need to sort this solution out. Now this pipe is 300 quid. 300 quid each side. So while I sort this solution out and sort out this really crappy, pathetic oil cooler, I have decided, because of the state of the engine, the whole bike is getting stripped down. So I need to get the front end off. In order to get the front end off, I need to get the brakes off. So in this episode, we're going to be talking about particularly brake pipes, and in particular, how this all connects together. Now, on this model, because it's the VFR, as everybody knows, it has a linked brake system. He says, trying to extend everything. So it has a linked brake system. So these pipes here link the back brake to the front brake. Now obviously the back brake's already off, so I'm going to start at the back here and work my way forward to the bits at the front of the bike. And for this you will need 12mm spanner, a 10mm spanner, that's my 8 just in case, and possibly a 14, and some gloves. Now I'd ran out of disposable gloves and I found these lovely gloves from Toolstation, nitrile covered gloves, which is really good. I've already used them. So I've had my friend come round and do his usual thing and sort out my bits, and loosen everything off for me, because I'm still with crappy hands, very crappy hands come to that matter. But I'm going to put my gloves on because I want to keep my hands clean, because my hands are going to get dirty. Right, so we're actually going to start here on the rear of the bike. Now we have a compensator valve here, because it has a dual linked brake system. So basically I put my front brake on. As it gets to a certain point and slows down, it then pumps fluid back through to my rear brake, and on the rear brake I press the rear brake and it actually puts the front brake on as well. But it does it in a very, very complicated and technical manner, and also adds a huge amount of stuff to the bike. And there's going to be a possibility that I will be delinking the front and the rear brakes, so this lot will not be going back on. But anyway, so because we've already disconnected the rear brakes, what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove these metal pipes first, which link the front. Now these metal pipes are the same kind that you get in a car. Now I did have some flared nut ring spanners, which are proper spanners that you use for, he keeps knocking the camera, doing this, but for some reason I've lost them. Don't know where they've gone to. So basically we have on here, this is lifting it up, we have it's a special flared nut, which is made to fit inside this. So I think that's, if I remember rightly, that looks like a female connector that's there. Let me just remove that a second, put these back in so I don't lose them. So I don't want to lose those, although saying that I will be taking that off, but they may come in handy for something else. Right, inside there, I'm not sure if you can see that very clearly, there we go. Right, there is a male fitting, because it protrudes outwards and goes inside this. So this end here, which I can twist around like that, is a female fitting, and you have a special tool to make these, and then the pipes are just bent around. On this end we have a banjo bolt connected in the same way. So that's our front, so that's our back bit. That's all we've got to do on the back bit because that's all we needed to take off on the back. So if we move to the front of the bike, what we got here is obviously the front master cylinder and brake lever, which when pressed puts hydraulic fluid down into the brakes, and you have just here another contraption which allows fluid to pass from one side to the other side and then to the back of the bike as well. So what you get is these lovely contraptions here, which are joints which join the front to the back. So this is the next one that's coming off to make life a lot easier. It is, so these are 10mm, he says. Put in these should be loose actually. I could do it with my finger. Yeah, I can almost do it with my finger and my dodgy hands. If you'll see, if you look closely, my hands are shaking because my arms are naff. They really are. I've invented a new way of sleeping. It's called the Superman. You basically lay with your arms stretched out in front of you and your feet hanging off the edge of your bed, and you still get numb hands. And it's bloody painful. There we go. He says, oh, wiggling this. Come on. Almost off. Almost off. Right, so that is one brake pipe now released. So there we are, one brake pipe now released, which we're going to put over on the bench. Now, our second brake pipe, which is over here, is pretty much attached in the same manner with a 10mm nut, flared nut, that's the proper name. Let's get it right. The other day I kept saying bolt instead of nut. I don't know why. Probably because I'm nuts. Sometimes it also helps if you take the pressure off these by holding them. If you can see that. It's a very laboriously slow process. If I had the proper spanners, this wouldn't be so bad. But I don't know what I've done with them. I've lost them somewhere, obviously. There we go. And there's the other brake pipe, which is going to go on the table as well. Right, so that's those two done. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take off these, and it's pretty much the same each side. So these are just bolts, unions that connect the front to the rear and also connect the secondary, because there is a secondary master cylinder on the VFRs. Ooh. Okay, now that's connected there. There is another connection just here, as you can see, on the horn, which just basically, actually saying that, let's loosen the horn off and take the horn off. There we go. Just put the bolt back on, nut back on rather, so I don't lose the nut. Okay, so that's the horn out of the way, saves a lot of problems. And then, ooh, don't know what happened there, got trapped on something. We should get access to this. So that's our pipe disconnected from there, and then we actually move a bit further down over here to here, where we have this union. So that's the pipe we've just taken off, which is connected here, and this is purely going from this, which is the secondary master cylinder. Let's put that, no, I need that off anyway. So if you go down even further, that is the secondary master cylinder. So as you brake and slow and your forks dive, this whole caliper shifts forwards and applies pressure here, which then pumps fluid into this, and then it sends it up, across, and to the back of the bike. If you understand that. It's a little complicated, I know. So this is joined to the master cylinder, master cylinder at the back of the caliper with another banjo bolt. Now this time it is a bolt and connector. I've lost the washer, but I ain't worried about that too much. Now you can delink these brakes and do some fancy footwork. The other option you've got is you can actually completely change them to a different caliper from a different bike. I don't recall what that is from the top of my head. So now we've got that off, so that's clear. We've got these two pipes here, so one's connected here with a banjo bolt, and the washer has stayed in place, which isn't unusual, so always be careful for that, because sometimes they stick either side and can cause a lot of problems, especially when it comes to putting things back together again. Then suddenly you have a leak and you don't know where that leak's come from. So this is loose over on this side. So if I undo this one here, so this links the front brakes together, as well as, so this here is linking the front brake, because that's the master cylinder from the front. So the hydraulic fluid comes down here, across here, into this caliper at the top here, which then actually activates the brakes. We also have another one at the back here, which activates, because it's 3 pistons, 2 large, 1 small. The small piston in the middle is the one that is activated by the back brake. The 2 large ones is activated by the front brake. So that way then you don't suddenly have front end dive, because you're only activating it from this very small caliper in the middle, or piston in the middle rather. And of course that's as if the whole system's working properly. So we now need to move over to here and undo this one, he says, hopefully. This could be a little bit tricky because there's not much room. In fact, what we'll do, make life a little easier on ourselves, he says, is undo this over the other side. So this is connecting the front master cylinder to both calipers. Having to work at arm's length. It's actually quite good working at arm's length, literally. Right, so this one's free. This one's free, which goes down to the other side of this cylinder, master cylinder, on this side. And that's a 12. I need to grab my 12 to get in here and finish this bit off a bit more. So I want to get these off, then I'll get the front end off completely. So it's just a case of dismantling all this end and laying it all out. And if I reuse these calipers, I'll be cleaning them up last, but I have another plan for the front end, which we'll have to see if it comes to fruition, because as is with everything else, it's not cheap. The plan I have, not cheap at all. I don't want to give too much away, unless of course you want to give me a shitload of money, and I'm very happy to tell you everything. There we go. That's that one, and then this one. So there's the centre. So this one controls the centre caliper, centre piston rather. I think I've just lost another washer. So there's that one off, which means I can get access to this one here and take this off completely. And then obviously the calipers can come off relatively simply. So there's that, that's the other pipe. So it's like a network of pipes. There's loads, absolutely loads, which you will see, and also calipers as well. So we can now move over. I'm not sure if you can see what I'm doing at the moment. I think you can actually, to this side. So that is one. This is again going to the rear of the bike, which you can't really see very clearly there. Ooh. Okay, just dropped something. Not sure what that was. So now we're operating on the other side of the bike. Just getting the camera in position where it's not going to fall over. So we're now moving over to the other side to get rid of, to dismantle this bit here, which is just basically this bolt here. Oh, there we go. So that's the other link pipe off. So that's gone onto the table as well. Now, where are we at to? So we can come round to the front now. Right, so we move around to this side. So as you can see, we've got these, which are connected up here. That's the other one that's going to the other side. Just like this one was on this side. Right, so this is another one, which is a link pipe, and this creates a complicated mess of plumbing that even a urologist would kind of freak out at. I can tell you that now. Right, so that's unhooked that bracket. It is a clamp shell style bracket, which just clamps over. So that's another pipe that's off. Very shortly, our actual master cylinder is going to come off. So this is our master cylinder for the front brake, which is over here. So we move the camera around to this side for you, as you can see. So, hoping you can see clearly there. This is the master cylinder here, which is going down to this one here. Now you'll notice on this side there is no secondary master cylinder at all, because it is linked via this, which is another compensator valve. So once we've got this undone, and that's stuck there, we can then take this pipe off, and we now have all the brake pipes off the bike from front to rear. So there you go, that is the VFR's brake pipes. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell for notifications, and I will catch you the next time when we take the calipers off.